Let's spend an afternoon with Julia. This is Julia. This is Julia when she was younger. Julia helped during a time in our world when there was a great world war. Julia started in California, where she grew up with her parents. Then she moved to the Far East, where she helped with the war effort. After she married her husband, they settled into a life working for the American government in France. Julia loved to cook. The problem was she never had any training to learn how to do it. And the more she lived in France, the more she loved the food that was there. Julia made a plan. She chose to go to the fanciest school in all of France called the Cordon Bleu. Julia worked very hard and graduated from the fancy school after a few years. When Julia decided to come back to America, she thought she would bring her love of French cooking and all that she had learned at this school back with her. This is Julia's kitchen. It was made and designed by Julia and her husband. The main part of the kitchen had plenty of tools that were fancy and very specific for the foods that she wanted to make. Julia loved cooking so much that she took everything she learned and put it into one book, which she was able to publish, called Mastering the Art of French Cooking. Everyone loved this book so much that Julia was offered a chance to be on television and share her love of cooking with everyone around her. Julia had to learn lots of tips and tricks in order for the camera to see exactly what she wanted to them. Here you can see her staff hiding below her counter as she talks into the camera and teaches a lesson on French cooking. Julia's show became so famous that she wound up sharing her love of her kitchen with everyone. Here you can see how everyone became fascinated with her beloved pots and pans. Each one numbered and each one had a place in her kitchen. She had beautiful appliances and fresh produce from her gardens to make sure that everything tasted as good as it could. She used precise, old-fashioned scales to weigh out all the ingredients to make sure what she was making was exactly the way it was supposed to taste. Julia's kitchen was a marvel to behold. It was something that people wanted to learn about. So much so that when she stopped cooking and her TV show went off the air, the National Museum of American History, run by the Smithsonian Institute, asked Julia if she would remove her entire kitchen from her house and let the museum show everyone what a remarkable place it was. And she did. You can go to the museum now and act like you're walking right through Julia's famous kitchen. Julia's show was so famous that she won award after award. This is a television award called an Emmy, just one of the many she won for her show's amazing ability to help people learn how to cook. This award is from the country of France. They were so happy that Julia brought back all she learned in France and shared it with the Americans. They appreciated all of her hard work to make French cooking so popular. Julia loved showing everyone how to cook and made cookbook after cookbook to continue sharing the art of French cooking with everyone. Thanks, Julia, for letting us visit.